Good afternoon, friends. I am Professor S.S. Jadhav. Today we discuss next point, that is law of heat conduction. So, first of all, what is meant by conduction? So, conduction is nothing but heat transfer takes place due to the direct contact or due to the physical contact without appreciable movement of the molecules, that is nothing but conduction. So what is the law related to the conduction? That is Fourier's law of heat conduction. Law related to conduction, that is Fourier states the law related to conduction. So what is the law related to conduction? So it states that rate of heat transfer through material is proportional to the negative gradient in the temperature and to the area at the right angles to the gradient through which the heat is flowing. So what is the law? States that rate of heat transfer. So what is the unit of heat? That is unit of heat is joule. So rate of heat transfer, that is joule per second, that is watt. So rate of heat transfer is nothing but capital Q. It is denoted by capital Q. So rate of heat transfer, so Q is directly proportional to area which is perpendicular to the direction of heat flow, and change in temperature with respect to length. Change in temperature means what? Final temperature minus initial temperature with respect to distance means what? Whatever the thickness of that particular object, that is uh, gradient, temperature gradient. So rate of heat transfer is directly proportional to area which is perpendicular to direction of heat flow and change in temperature with respect to distance. So this is the Fourier's law of heat conduction. Q is directly proportional to A and dt by dx. So what is the proportionality constant? So this Q is directly proportional to A and dt by dx. So what is meant by A? A is nothing but area. Which area? That area which is perpendicular to the direction of heat flow. And dt by dx is nothing but temperature gradient. So Q is directly proportional to A and dt by dx. So what is the proportionality constant? Proportionality constant is K. So what is the equation? Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. K is nothing but proportionality constant and it is known as thermal conductivity of that particular material. So negative sign, there is a negative sign. So what is the meaning of negative sign? So along the length what will happen? The temperature is decreases. Means what? If length is increases, then temperature will be reduces along the length. Means what? dt by dx. So this factor is nothing but dt by dx. So dt is nothing but final temperature minus initial temperature, or outer surface minus inner surface. So outer surface temperature is less, that is temperature is reduces along the length. So suppose consider the inlet temperature, that is T1, that is one phase temperature T1 having higher temperature and another layer having temperature is T2. Suppose T1 heat transfer takes place, means what? T1 is higher as compared to T2. So T1 is inlet temperature and T2 is outlet temperature. So delta T is nothing but outlet minus inlet, so T2 minus T1. But this T2 is less as compared to the T1, means the value of this factor is negative. So we have to convert that negative value into the positive value by giving the negative sign. So what is the equation of Fourier's law of heat conduction? Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. So Q is nothing but rate of heat transfer, K is nothing but thermal conductivity of that particular wall, then area is nothing but surface area perpendicular to the direction of heat flow, and dt by dx is nothing but temperature gradient. So this is about the Fourier's law of heat conduction. So what is meant by thermal conductivity? So thermal conductivity is nothing but ability of material to transfer the heat. That is nothing but thermal conductivity. In that, good conductors and insulators. Good conductor means what? Good conductors is nothing but having higher thermal conductivity, and insulators means having less thermal conductivity. So good thermal conductor is nothing but having higher thermal conductivity, and insulator is nothing but having lower thermal conductivity. So this is the Fourier's law, that is Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. So what are the assumptions we have to considering for that Fourier's equation? So that first assumption is steady state heat conduction. So what is meant by steady state heat conduction? There is a no temperature change with respect to time. Means what? At any surface, on that surface temperature is same. That temperature does not changes with respect to time. Does not changes with respect to time. So what is the assumptions related to Fourier equation? That first assumption is steady state heat conduction. Second, one directional heat flow. So whatever the heat transfer takes place, that heat transfer takes place in the any direction, that is x direction, y direction, z direction. So for the Fourier's equation, we have to considering the only one direction, that is along x direction. So we have to considering the only one direction, that is the assumptions. That is second assumption for the Fourier equation. Then bonding surfaces are isothermal in character, that is constant and uniform temperature are maintained at the two faces. So if suppose we are deriving the Fourier's equation, for that we have to considering the two surfaces, that is inner surface and outer surface. So whatever the temperature at any point on that inner surface, that temperature is the same temperature on that particular surface. So this is the assumptions. Whatever the faces present in the particular wall, the temperature on that particular wall is same. Then isotropic and homogeneous material and thermal conductivity is constant. So whatever you have to selecting the material for the Fourier's equation, that material is having constant thermal conductivity. There is no change in thermal conductivity. That material having constant thermal conductivity. So we have to assuming this assumption for the deriving the Fourier's equation. Next, constant temperature gradient and linear temperature profile. So whatever the temperature changes takes place throughout that material, that temperature profile we have to considering as a linear temperature profile. So means what? Linearly temperature is decreases from T1 to T2. So that is the assumptions we have to considering for the deriving the Fourier's equation. And next assumption, that is no internal heat generation. Means what? Sometimes what will happen, that we have to considering the any object, that object consists of battery or any internal source that creating the heat. So we have to not considering the internal heat generation, that is heat transfer takes place from one surface to the another surface. There is a no internal heat generation is takes place. So for the deriving the Fourier's equation, we have to considering these assumptions, that is steady state heat conduction, one directional heat flow, bounding surfaces are isothermal in character, that is we have to uniform temperature are maintained at the two faces, isotropic and homogeneous material and thermal conductivity is constant temperature gradient and linear temperature profile, and no internal heat generation. So these are the assumptions we have to considering for the deriving the Fourier's equation, that is Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. So K is nothing but thermal conductivity. So what is meant by thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity is nothing but ability of a material to transfer the heat. Ability of material to transfer the heat, that is nothing but conductivity. Means what? If any material having higher thermal conductivity, means what? That material transferring the more energy. And if suppose any material we have to considering having lower thermal conductivity, means what? That material having transferring heat capacity is less. So pure metal is having higher thermal conductivity. Pure metals having higher thermal conductivity as compared to the insulators. Insulators having lower thermal conductivity. So this is about the thermal conductivity. So what is the unit of thermal conductivity? The unit of thermal conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin or watt per meter degree Celsius. Watt per meter degree Celsius. So from this equation, that is Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. So from this equation, what is the unit of K? K unit is watt per meter degree Celsius. Watt per meter degree Celsius. So K is equal to Q. So from this equation, K is equal to Q when area is unit and that temperature gradient also unit. At that time we said that whatever the heat transfer is takes place, that heat transfer is nothing but thermal conductivity of that particular material. Means what? K is equal to Q when A is equal to 1 and dt by dx is equal to 1. When we have to considering the unit area and unit temperature gradient at for that particular material, and for that unit temperature gradient material, whatever the heat transfer is takes place, that heat transfer is nothing but thermal conductivity of that particular material. So from this equation, what is the unit of thermal conductivity? That is watt per meter degree Celsius or watt per meter Kelvin. So what about the thermal conductivity of pure metals and alloys? So thermal conductivity of pure metal is higher as compared to the alloy. And what is the relation between the thermal conductivity of solid, liquid and gases? So thermal conductivity of solid is higher as compared to the liquid, and liquid thermal conductivity is higher as compared to the gases. So intermolecular force of attraction is higher in the solid, less in liquid, and so less in gases. So because of that, thermal conductivity of the solid material is higher as compared to liquid, and thermal conductivity of liquid is higher as compared to the gases. So this is the relation between thermal conductivity of solid, liquid and gases. So there are some materials having thermal conductivity is given. So diamond is having thermal conductivity is 2300 watt per meter degree Celsius. Silver is having thermal conductivity 430. Copper is having thermal conductivity 400. Gold is having thermal conductivity 320. So these are the brick is 0.7, water is 0.61, wood is 0.17, helium is 0.15, air is 0.026. Means what? Diamond is having higher thermal conductivity, but cost of the diamond is higher. Then silver is having higher thermal conductivity, means 413. Then copper is having high thermal conductivity, that is 400. So these are the some values of the thermal conductivity of the different materials. Water is having thermal conductivity is 0.61. Means what? Thermal conductivity of water is less as compared to, we have to considering this diamond, silver, copper. So this about the thermal conductivity of the different materials. So next point is, how does the thermal conductivity vary with the temperature? So now we have to considering the three materials, that is solid, liquid and gases. So these are the three states of the material, that is solid, liquid and gases. Suppose we are giving increasing the temperature of that particular solid, that particular liquid, that particular gases, then what is the effect of temperature on the thermal conductivity of that material? Means what? If there is a solid and you have to increasing the temperature of that particular solid, then what is the effect of that temperature on that particular solid? So in case of the pure metals and alloys, the thermal conductivity predominantly depends on electronic effect. As temperature increases, both number of free electrons and lattice vibration increases. As temperature is increases, suppose we have to considering the pure metal and alloy, as we have to increasing the temperature, means what? If temperature is increases, means what? Free electrons and lattice vibration is increases. And in the conduction, if vibrations is increases and lattice vibrations and free electrons are increases means heat transfer is increases. Thus the thermal conductivity of the metal is expected to increases. Means what? As we have to increasing the temperature, if the particular solid temperature is increases, due to that temperature what will happen? The lattice vibrations increases, free electrons increases, free electrons also increases. But actually what happen? Lattice vibration obstruct the flow of free electrons. If lattice vibration is increases inside the solid, so this vibration will obstruct the flow of electrons. So actually in the heat transfer, 70% heat transfer is takes place due to the free electrons and 30% heat transfer is takes place due to the lattice vibration. So maximum heat transfer is takes place because of the free electrons. But if the solid temperature is increases, then at that time what will happen? Free electron also increases and lattice vibration also increases. But this lattice vibration will obstruct the flow of free electrons. This lattice vibration obstruct the flow of free electrons. Because of that what will happen? If this flow of free electrons is obstructed by the lattice vibration, then heat transfer is reduces. Means what? If the temperature of the solid is increases, then thermal conductivity will be reduces. Because of what? Due to the this free electrons is obstructed by the lattice vibration, due to the lattice vibration. So combined effect of this phenomena in most of cases result into decreased thermal conductivity with the increase in temperature. Means what? Temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is decreases. But there are some expectation. So what are that expectation? There are some expectation to this rule. For iron the thermal conductivity initially decreases and then increases. So but what we said that is if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is reduces. But for the iron material what will happen? Initially thermal conductivity will be decreases, but after that what will happen? Increases slightly with increase in temperature. In for platinum the thermal conductivity is increases with increase in temperature. So these are the exceptional cases. If temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity first decreases and then increases for the iron. And for the platinum, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity also increases. So this is about the effect of the temperature on the solid. That is, how does the thermal conductivity vary with the temperature for the solid? Means what? If the temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity of the solid is decreases. Thermal conductivity of the solid is decreases. What about the liquid? So in liquids, we giving the temperature to liquid. Means what? If the temperature of the particular liquid is increases, if temperature is increases, means what about the density? Temperature is increases means density will be reduces. And if the density is higher, then thermal conductivity will be higher. But because of the temperature, density is reduces, and due to that density what will happen? Thermal conductivity will be reduces. So this is about the liquid. Means what? If the temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity reduces. Thermal conductivity will be decreases. So this is about the liquid. Means what? Temperature, because of the temperature, density will be reduces, and if density is reduces means automatically thermal conductivity will be reduces. So this is about the this is related to the liquid. Then next point related to the gases. In gases what will happen? So in gases, if we are giving the temperature to that particular gases, what will happen? That gases will move in the faster manner, and because of that faster manner, maximum molecules are in contact with the each other. And because of that, if contact is increases, if direct contact between the molecules is increases, then what will happen? Heat transfer rate is increases. Means what? Thermal conductivity will increases. So for the gases, if temperature of that particular gases is increases, then that molecules will move in the faster manner. Because of that faster manner, at particular instant these molecules will come come in contact with the each other. If this physical contact is increases, because of that physical contact, heat transfer is increases, and means what? Thermal conductivity will be increases. So for the gases, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity also increases. And in liquid, if temperature is increases, thermal conductivity will be decreases, because of the density will be reduces. So but there are some exceptional cases for the liquid also. That is, there is one exception, that is pure water. In the case of pure water, thermal conductivity first increases with increase in temperature and then starts decreasing. For the pure water, what will happen? If temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity initially increases and then starts decreasing. So this is the exceptional case for the gases. For the if the liquid, for the if the temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is decreases. So this is about the effect of the temperature on the thermal conductivity of the solid, liquid and gases. For the solid, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is decreases. For the liquid, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is decreases. And for the gases, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity also increases. So this is the effect of temperature on the thermal conductivity of solid, liquid and gases. Next point is thermal diffusivity. So what is meant by thermal diffusivity? So when a system gains heat, so it stores some of the heat energy and transports the remaining heat energy to the some another system. When a system gains heat, at that time what will happen? It stores some of the heat energy. And transports the remaining heat energy to some other system. So as we have seen, the ability of material to transport heat energy, that is nothing but thermal conductivity. Ability of material to transfer the heat energy, that is nothing but thermal conductivity. And the heat storage capability of material, whatever the material having heat storage capacity, that is nothing but heat capacity of that particular material. That is how to denote that heat capacity, that is Cp. So what is meant by thermal diffusivity? So thermal diffusivity represents how fast heat diffuse through a material. So we have to consider the any material. So from that material, how fast the heat diffusion is takes place, that is nothing but thermal diffusivity of that particular material. And it is defined as thermal diffusivity is defined as it is the ratio of the heat conducted to the heat stored, and it is denoted by alpha. Thermal diffusivity is denoted by the alpha, and it is defined as the ratio of heat conducted to the heat stored. So how to denote heat conducted, that is K, and how to denote heat stored, that is rho into Cp. So K upon rho into Cp, that is nothing but thermal diffusivity. K upon rho into Cp, that is nothing but thermal diffusivity. Means what? Thermal diffusivity represent how fast heat diffuses through a particular material, that is nothing but thermal diffusivity, and it is denoted by alpha. So alpha is equal to heat conducted divided by heat stored. So alpha is equal to K upon rho into Cp. So this is about the thermal diffusivity. So what is the summary of today's lecture? What is meant by Fourier's law of heat conduction? That is Q is directly proportional to A and dt by dx. So what is the equation of Fourier's law of heat conduction? Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. So minus sign, what is the meaning of minus sign? If the length of that particular object is increases, at the same time temperature is reduces, means what? Final temperature is less as compared to the initial temperature. So Q is equal to minus K into A into dt by dx. This is about the Fourier's law of heat conduction. What are the assumptions for the Fourier's equation? That is steady state heat transfer, one directional heat flow, that is uniform temperatures are maintained at the two faces, thermal conductivity is constant, constant temperature gradient, linear temperature profile, then no internal heat generation. So these are the assumptions related to the Fourier equation. Thermal conductivity is nothing but ability of material to transfer the heat, and it is denoted by K. What is the unit of thermal conductivity? Watt per meter degree Celsius. What is the relation for the solid liquid gases? That is thermal conductivity of solid is higher as compared to liquid, and liquid thermal conductivity higher as compared to the gases. Then thermal conductivity of different materials: diamond is 2300, silver is 430, water is 0.61. Then what is the effect of temperature on thermal conductivity of the solid and liquid and gases? For the solid, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity will be reduces or decreases. For the liquid, if temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity will be decreases. And what about the gases? For the gases, temperature is increases, then thermal conductivity is also increases. And next point, that is thermal diffusivity. So what is meant by thermal diffusivity? Thermal diffusivity represent how fast heat diffuses through a material, and it is denoted by alpha. So alpha is nothing but it is defined as the ratio of heat conducted to the heat stored. So what is the equation of alpha? Alpha is equal to K upon rho into Cp. So this is about the today's lecture, that is Fourier's law of heat conduction, then assumptions of the Fourier's law, then thermal conductivity of different materials, and then effect of thermal temperature on the thermal conductivity of the solid, liquid and gases. And next point is thermal diffusivity. So thank you very much.